All right. Welcome to the NorCal Sports Network, where the Giants lose a tough one tonight to the Cincinnati Reds 3-2. Giants were unable to come up with the big hits with runners in scoring position, and their 7-game winning streak is snapped. We've got Marty Lurie with us tonight, the great one. Welcome,
All right.
Marty.
Glad to see you, Eric. Nice to be with you guys.
All right. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Let's get right into it, Marty. This was a tough loss. What do you think after tonight's game?
Well, they've got a lot of injuries right now, and they're on the road. They came out of the break sweeping Pittsburgh, winning these first couple of games. They've been the comeback kids all the time, and it just didn't work tonight. But 5-1 coming out of the break, there's no complaints at all. But they've got some injuries now, and they're starting to put a lineup on the field that's starting to feel a lot like the Sacramento River Cats. And we went through this before when they were losing. That end of the lineup really sort of started to sink them. And I'm getting that feeling again. You got Sable, you get VR, you get Schmidt, you get Wisely. Even though they're tougher at bats, they don't chase, and they do all these things that we like. They're not really productive. And you can combine that with Jock Peterson, who's really, he gets a hit, he gets a walk when you need it, but he's still hitting about 235 right now. And this is what happened to him last summer, too. So he's not really hitting. Yastrzemski's hitting the pop-ups again. But they get their hits. But the bottom line, guys, Stripling did decently tonight. Walker came in, gave him a couple of innings, rested the bullpen. And basically, one swing of the bat from Nelson, and all of a sudden Stripling's a loser. But I think when you look at that starting rotation of Logan Webb, we'll get Cobb tomorrow, Stripling probably does fit in to that third spot. And I think they're working him towards that. And I think they really feel comfortable with him in that rotation. So we got to see that tonight. Very favorable umpire for him. And I'll say another thing. The Giant catchers are unbelievable at framing the pitch. They frame everything. I don't care where it is. They get dugout, and they'll try to frame it. And they get away with it. And they really make the pitch look better. And that helps Stripling a lot tonight. Sable does it very well. Bailey is a master at it. And that helps the pitching too. But so what do I think? You lose 3-2 to the Reds. The Reds are desperate. They're a very young team. They got the long ball tonight. Their bullpen held together tonight. They didn't need any of the guys who have been used so often. And you lose. So you come back tomorrow morning with Cobb against Abbott, who has been a pretty tough lefty. And again, Davis didn't play tonight, stomach flu.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't hear why he was out. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's, Susan Slusser had that on Twitter a few minutes ago. And then you've got Slater. I guess he's banged up, right? He's not playing. So, you got
they did have Slater out on deck circle there in the ninth inning.
He's not. Yeah, all right, but not starting apparently. But maybe he'll start tomorrow.
I think he will if he gets the lefty. I'm sure he will. Yeah.
Yeah, against the lefty.
So it'll probably be not.
They're not hitting. Truthfully, they're not hitting the way they did before. But it's starting pitching. Webb was fabulous. The bullpen has just been lights out. It's a game of bullpens. We'll talk about it, I'm sure. The San Diego bullpen is looking a little better. San Diego's looking a little better. The Dodgers are looking a little better. But it is a game of bullpens. That's what's going to keep you in the race, and that's going to be the difference this year. And the Giants have that, and nobody can take that away from them because it's getting better.
Yeah, and it'll get better with Luke Jackson and Brebbia coming back here probably within the next couple of weeks. I think Jackson will be first. He's already had his rehab assignment down here in Arizona, and he's probably got a little bit more. And I think I would expect to see him back on the club probably on the next homestand. Luke Jackson, and then Brebbia will probably be about a week to 2 weeks behind him. And if you get get all those guys. Brebbie and Jackson are true bullpen guys where, they're running Junis and Mania out there, and they don't seem like a fit in high leverage situations a lot. I don't know. It's going to be a tough situation with decisions if they do make the playoffs. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that pitching staff.
Well, let's concentrate on the trade deadline right now.
Yeah,
the playoffs are a long way away. I think they can win the division. I think they're going to be a playoff team, but that's down the road.
Yeah,
but
still another 65 games.
The key is, what are you going to do with Mania? Can you use him out of the bullpen? What are you going to do when you bring Brebbie and Jackson back? Someone conveniently ends up with a sore arm and goes on the DL. Or maybe you hate to send Walker back. Walker really has been terrific. So they're going to have to deal with that. Maybe Junis has the sore arm, the low back pain. And, that could be one of the moves that could be coming.
Right. The lineup tonight, Graham Ashcraft has taken the Giants the last few times he's faced them. He looks like a Cy Young Award, and against the rest of the league, he hovers around a 6 ERA. Against the Giants, he shuts them down.
He couldn't find a strike zone tonight either, and I'm surprised that the Giants.
Well, he said he didn't get the calls that Stripling got, and that was really the catching helped tremendously.
Yeah, exactly.
Stripling got every call tonight. This kid didn't. But the story of Ashcraft is his slider, and he threw a slider unwisely a couple of times when he had to get a strikeout, and Conforto as well. He threw a really good slider. Beginning of the year, slider was terrific. Middle of the year, they hit 600 off the slider. Now they're back to where he's got control of the slider again, and that's been the difference for him. We'll see. The kid tomorrow is the issue, because this kid has been terrific, Abbott, and it is a lefty, and that neutralizes Yastrzemski and Peterson and all that kind of stuff.
We got a question here from the chat for you, Marty. Ted Mosby donates $4.99. Thank you, Ted. He says, Marty, who's your favorite player on the 40-man and why? And who's the guy you'd like to see gone and why? And who would you be your ideal replacement?
Oh, well, all right. Let's take that piece by piece. My favorite player on the 40-man, the one I seem to get a kick out of a lot. It's a good question. I think it's Conforto. I just like the way he plays. I do. I think whether it's playing defense in right field, getting a hit when you need it. The batting average is under 250, but this guy with runners in scoring position, 2 out, 2 strikes. He comes through. He's got a lot of big hits. I like him. I like the way Conforto plays. The other one is Flores, and I've said he's probably the best hitter on the team. The guy's on fire. And what's amazing to me is to watch the first 2 games. He had 3 home runs, 2 doubles, a single, had 8 total bases in both games. No one's done that since Bonds in 2000. He never hit the dirt. Nobody knocked him down. Come on. This guy is just sitting up there, sitting on inside pitches. Hit him in the ribs. Do something. I can't believe they play like that. All right, so that's that. What's the next question?
Who's the guy you like to see gone and why?
Well, I guess the one really probably for me. Well, you don't want to pick on the kids,
right?
There's no reason to do that. I guess the one is probably Junis. I think if you had to lose somebody on the team, that would be the one. They kind of ruined him this year. In spring, they had 7 starters. Was he going to start? Was he going to relieve? I don't think he ever found his groove this year. And I think probably they can do better than Junis. I think he's been a problem. When they bring him in, he doesn't have that snap on the slider. Doesn't have that snap on the slider. The other one, I think, would be DeSclafani. I would expect a little more out of him, maybe a little more toughness. He's got that shoulder fatigue. It looks like he's just not the same pitcher. He had a great slider. That slider was magnificent, like Junis. And then he went away from the slider. They want him to use another pitch, and he never quite got the slider back. So I would say DeSclafani, Junis would be the two pitchers that I would want to let go of. And I think to replace him, you have Jackson and you have the other guy coming off.
Brebbia.
Yeah, Brebbia coming off the DL. The other one who will be in the big leagues at some point, and it's not going to be Harrison. He blew out his hamstring. He's got issues with the hamstring. He hasn't pitched in a while. I think this Mason Black. I would watch him. He just got to AAA, and I think Mason Black. If you needed somebody, he may be the guy. But the next guy up is Beck. I hated to see Beck go. Beck was terrific, but he's got options, so they can move him out of here.
Yeah.
So I say replace Junis to replace the DeSclafani, maybe a Mason Black. Maybe you come back with Beck in that situation. The other one is Fitzgerald. I think we have a shot at seeing Fitzgerald. He maybe could play the outfield if you need him.
Right.
They need help in that middle infield. They're clearly needing help there. Fitzgerald probably deserves a shot, probably more than VR. VR is just not catching up with the ball, and he looks like a different player. I would put Schmidt at third if they have to do it this way, if JD's out for a little bit, which he won't be. But if you put Schmidt at third, put Fitzgerald at short, and have Wisely at second. And if Wisely isn't doing it, give Isan Diaz another shot. But I think at the trade deadline, I know they want a starting pitcher because they need Jack Flaherty. They need a starting pitcher. They need a guy, Montgomery. They need somebody, a lefty preferably.
Yeah, Montgomery would be great.
Yeah, but I really, really think that this is a ball club that needs a middle infielder. They need a guy in the middle of the infield, whether it's Tim Anderson. They need a pro. They don't need a project or history. They don't need Donovan Walton. They don't need,
please.
They don't need those guys again. They need a pro. And I think the pressure's on Farhan. I would not wait. I don't know why they wait.
Yes.
Everybody's waiting for this first trade to happen.
I know. That's what I've been saying, Marty. Get out in front of it. Get out in front of it.
I would.
So
I think they're banged up. Who knows when Crawford will be back? Who knows when Estrada will be back? Wade, you got that issue now, the hamstring. He looked awful the last couple of games. So they got to get healthy and just kind of hold the fort here and maintain where they are. They've got a nice little cushion, and they have Cincinnati tomorrow, 3 with Washington, 1 with Detroit. It wouldn't shock me. They're 5-1 now. It wouldn't shock me to see 9-2 on this trip.
Yeah, you said 6-1 going into Washington, so they win tomorrow. We'll be calling you Prophet, Marty.
Yeah. All these teams have negative run differentials.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
every one of them. Pittsburgh gave up. I mean, who thought Pittsburgh would just tank? Coming right out of the gate, they were done. Pittsburgh was finished.
Hey, Marty, speaking to the bullpen that you had just mentioned a bit ago, the strength of the team. I like how they're eating the innings in the bullpen, but when it gets time to, I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves with the postseason, you got to have those high leverage arms. And I like the idea of having Luke Jackson because he's got experience in high leverage situations. And you mentioned that Mason Black. Right now, he's only got really 2 pitches, a really hard slider and a good fastball. I think I would play really good in a bullpen for this year. Maybe if he develops a third pitch, he could be a starter. But he's got the strikeout stuff. Maybe he is a factor.
He's down in the pecking order. I mean, he's way down. And it would be an emergency to see him do anything. But if they need another live arm, if they have some more injuries on the right side, he's a possibility. But jumping ahead, Eric, to the playoffs, I mean, you got the best closer in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 8th inning guy, the 2 Rogers. Pick either one of them. I don't care which one you take. They get the job done. And then you come into that 7th inning, and, if it's Walker, Brebbia, or Jackson, or Alexander's been fabulous. His last 15, 16 games, he's given up 1 run.
Yep.
He's been terrific. And then you have Mania sitting out there in the 4th or 5th inning with Walker in the 4th or 5th inning. I think their bullpen is in excellent shape for the run. I really do. I think they're in real. That's the key to this team. When they lead after 7, they're like 39-3.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible.
They lead after 8, they're like 50-0. I mean, it's like something ridiculous. And that's
I heard Alex Pavlovich talking yesterday or the day before about possibly maybe the Giants end up looking at Harrison as a short relief guy, 2-3 inning guy for the stretch run. Maybe they think he's not stretched out enough for.
Come on, this is almost August, and he's not here.
Right.
And he's not even pitching. And
he should be back in a week or two, don't you think?
Well, a week or two will be August the 10th.
Yeah.
That's a long time, and he hasn't pitched yet.
Yeah.
So they got to build him up again. And when he was pitching, he wasn't throwing strikes. I want Jack. I want Alexander in there first. I want Rogers in there first. And I'll take Mania before I'll take Kyle Harrison in a tough situation. Live arm. We love the kid and all this stuff.
Right.
But Wisenhunt is probably better than him.
Right.
But Wisenhunt is still in Richmond.
Right.
So my feeling is I wouldn't count on Harrison at all. And it wouldn't shock me if they make a big trade. If they jump in here, they're going to have to get ahead of a lot of teams need pitching. If they jump in here, it wouldn't shock me to see someone like Harrison moved. It would not shock me. You wouldn't.
Interesting.
Wouldn't shock me. I'm sure they don't want to do it.
Right.
It just, you never know with pitching. And if you can make the right deal for someone who's not a rental. So I wouldn't give him up for a rental.
No,
never.
No.
But if it's not a rental, if you can come up with someone that's not a rental, I think you'd have to consider it. You would.
I came up with this just throwing out a trade, looking at things with the fact they need a middle infielder. Cardinals are selling. They've got a couple of guys that are rentals. And I threw out something like Eric Silva, who's their number 10 prospect, Will Bednar. Cardinals have already made it clear they want pitching. Bednar might not be something they're interested in because he looks like he's a few years away. A Cole Waits, but he just went on the 60. Logan Wyatt, those 4 guys for Jordan Montgomery, Paul DeJong, and Jordan Hicks, the reliever who throws 100. Hicks and Montgomery are free agents.
So what are you giving up?
I was giving up Silva, and Silva's their number 10 prospect. Bednar's 14, Cole Waits 19, and Logan Wyatt, who's not he could be
you are dreaming, right?
Well, it's just, the Cardinals, you're getting 2 rentals.
Bednar has Bednar pitched all year?
No. But
has Cole Waits? Cole Waits on the 60.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I put that out before he went on the 60, but
Cole Waits and Bednar.
We'd have to maybe throw in a Dabovich instead of Waits or some RJ Dabovich.
Come on. The Cardinals need controllable, hard-throwing pitchers. Well, that's what they need.
Silva's supposed to be pretty good. He's their 10th prospect, Eric Silva. He's ahead of.
You think you're going to give up Montgomery or Hicks or
they're free agents
for the number 10 prospect? Come on.
You think you're going to get a top 5 prospect for those guys? I don't think so.
You're probably going to get someone who's pretty. The market is a seller's market.
It is a seller's market. That is true because there's only about 10 teams
selling.
You're
going to get 10, 14, and 27. That's not. You're going to have to put up a little bit more, and you're going to have to put up some people that are major league ready. The Cardinals don't rebuild; they reload, and they want major league ready players. You haven't named one guy who's major league ready.
Well, Mason Black would be one,
perhaps.
Mason Black.
That's a possibility.
The Giants do have some pitching coming up. I like their draft pick they got in Whitman. Whitman was actually this draft pick that they got for Rodon for the so he was in many people he was the number 1 lefty coming out of college, and somehow he fell to 69.
Maybe
but
in the next year
the Giants are going to have to do something. with, like you said, middle infield. I don't know who's available out there. Some people threw out Nico Horner, but you're going to have to pay a lot because he's got years of control.
They love Nico.
I don't think he'd be available. You'd have to give up a Harrison for something like that.
No, they're not getting something. He's not doing it. He's got Estrada. He needs to back up shortstop right now is what he really needs.
That's why I say DeJong, because I think you can get him for fairly.
Yeah, that's not now. That's the first reasonable thing you said. That is. That's the first reasonable thing you said. And don't forget, Luciano is at Sacramento now.
Right. What do you think of that? Do you think that's
right?
Let's see what they got.
You think there's? I think there's three schools of thought on there, on Luciano. One, he deserved it, and he was promoted because he earned it in his last 70 at bats, hitting over 300, had some power. They want to move him up, see what he can do. Two, they're showcasing him at AAA.
Yep,
that's the deal.
And three, this was a wild thought. I don't think this is the case, but if they've been talking to the Angels about Ohtani, did the Angels say, we want to see Luciano, what he does the next 2 weeks?
Possible. And that's not unreasonable. The first one is the next two are not unreasonable at all. I think they are showcasing him. I think they want to see what they have. And he's a long way from being a polished shortstop, but the bat could play. He's still got the stress fracture issue in his back. They don't play him 7 days a week. They don't play him hard. So they have to see where he's at. And I think it is part of a showcase. I really do.
Yeah. I was saying the same thing yesterday. I was like, he was batting 228 in AA, and I was like, I don't know if he really earned it. I think it's more of the showcase. And me and Dan were talking about that yesterday. We probably think it's more of a showcase.
He's so young. You don't want to move him, but at some point you have to see what he can do. But he's been hurt. The other one is Ramos. If there's a deal to be made, he's in it. If there's a deal to be made, I hate to say it because they don't have a backup catcher, but Joey Bart, someone may take a flyer on him, but they'd have to get a real backup catcher back because they have. If something happened to Bailey, they have nothing. They got nothing. True. They have absolutely nothing behind him. So you got to keep Bart there. But don't forget Bart and Ramos. If any deal goes down, there's a good chance that Ramos could be in it.
Yeah, because Bart is out of options now. So the next time he comes up, they can't send him back down without putting him through waivers.
You mean next year?
This year. He's now out of options.
No, you could be optioned 30 times in 1 year. No, 5 times in 1 year.
Yeah, but no, he ran out of minor league options after
this year.
No, a couple days. Like he had Jeff Young we had on the show, and he said he only had so many days this year. There was something that triggered by a certain date. I don't remember what the date was.
I'm not aware of that. I know you can only option someone like 4 or 5 times in 1 year of an option year.
Right. But did they use up his options the last few years by all his ups and downs?
No, but he's optioned this year, which means he has look, if Jeff Young knows something I don't, more power to him. Yeah. I thought once you option someone for that year, you can do it 4 or 5 times. Before
I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to go back and look at what it was, but he put something out, and
I'd like to hear you. Send me a text when you do. I'd like to know.
After the show, I'll find it and send it to you. So we've got today's the 19th. We basically got another 11, 12 days or so before the trade deadline. We were talking about this last night. Why teams wait, especially Farhan seems to wait. He waits in trade deadlines, and he seems to wait in free agency until a lot of the market starts taking shape.
Literally.
The way he plays poker.
Yeah, and I definitely think. I mean, Tim Anderson's a name that pops up. He's having a horrible year. He's got a $14 million club option for next year.
And a $1 million buyout.
Yeah. Could you get a Tim Anderson, have the team work with whatever's causing him to not be able to hit, and he becomes, the shortstop next year? And then allows you to move Schmidt to third, or, some people have said that I think it was I said it 2 months ago. If the Giants were not in contention at the deadline, that they ought to consider maybe trading J.D. Davis because his value will never be higher. The fact that he's got one more year of arbitration, then he becomes a free agent. He's hitting, his 30-plus year range.
So forget it.
What's that?
They are in contention, so he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
He's having a great year. His statistics, his StatCast ratings are not great, but everything hit at him. And
he's
the
done
ball
great. He's done great in the field
with that arm.
I thought he was getting a night off. I didn't realize he had the stomach bug because he looks a little tired lately. Like
he's tired. There's no question.
He hasn't played this much in a season, this many games at this point in the season. He looks a little.
Yeah, their depth issue is a problem now because they're having to rely on the AAA guys too much.
Right.
Now these AAA guys are not like the ones last year that had no ceiling. They were all 4A players. These guys could get much better.
Right.
Mato's really good in his career. Schmidt could be good, and good things can happen for these guys. But they're being played now, and there's 4 of them in the lineup, and that's just too many of them.
That makes sense.
Right.
Hey, Marty, here's the $64,000 question. Do you think that Ohtani will be traded at the deadline, or do you think it's going to go to the offseason?
Great question. Ask me in a week. Let's give the Angels, the Angels, the Padres. Look, the Mets, Verlander had a great game tonight, win number 247. Teams that are kind of hanging around, they're still hanging around. Tampa Bay has got to straighten the ship out. I mean, they're getting beat right and left by everybody. Mm-hmm. They've been mentioned for Ohtani. Texas looks like they can win that division. Houston's really struggled putting it together. Texas has been mentioned for Ohtani as well.
Interesting.
So let's give it another week.
Sure.
Well, then we can make a better answer. But the Angels, all of a sudden, are back to 500 again within 5 or 6 games.
Yep.
And Boston is still in the mix. You got Toronto. The American League is crazy.
It is. The National League was pretty crazy there up till, maybe about a week ago, but it's starting to get a little bit more separation.
I'll tell you something.
Look at this wild card here for the Angels moving up on the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees can't get out their own way. The Yankees. But look, you've got how many teams within 6 games of the playoffs? You got 3, so you got like 8 teams there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, Cleveland's probably either going to be a division winner.
All right, but they're still within striking distance of the playoffs. So you got roughly 8 teams there and 3 winners. You got 11 of your 15 teams still in contention. So
with the Angels taking 3 out of 4 over the Yankees, or maybe it was a sweep. I'm not sure. I think maybe they took them 3 straight. The Angels have closed the gap to within 1, so they now only have to pass up a couple more teams. They're just 2 games.
Look at their run differentials too.
Yeah.
You've got teams down here. The Yankees are a plus. Look at how many teams are a plus run differential.
Yeah, all of those top down to Seattle. Wow. Then if we look at the National League wild card, we got
Miami and Reds a minus.
I think you can kiss Miami and the Reds goodbye. I think Arizona is going to be the 6th team.
Yeah, they beat the Braves again tonight.
Yeah, so you think it's going to be? You think the Giants are going to win the division? It's going to be the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Diamondbacks.
I think so. Or if the Dodgers win the division, it'll be the Giants, Phillies, and Diamondbacks. I think the Reds are a good story. They're so young. They swing at everything. Their pitching is non-existent.
Oh, their pitching
is dead. And Miami is just doing what Miami always does, and that's they hit the wall and disappear. They didn't come out of the break very well. This is a bad time for Miami to have trouble.
Wow. Look at Baltimore. They caught Tampa.
Yeah. I told you, Tampa can't beat anybody. Tampa started out, didn't they win like the first 13 or 14 games this year?
Something like that. They were like
13-0, yeah.
Weren't they like 30-7 at one point, somewhere in that range? Or
look at them now,
Yeah. And then we look at
they're thinking Ohtani, believe it or not. But that would be so out of character for them to do anything like that.
Right.
But Texas is a team that will do.
Texas.
I just think Texas is the one to watch because
Yeah.
with Bochy,
Yep.
they love Bochy. They love that pitching staff. They hit the heck out of the ball, and all of a sudden, I know DeGrom's out, but you put Ohtani in with that pitching staff right now.
Oh, that's my kind of thought. I could see him going to either Tampa or Texas.
Yeah,
if he gets traded.
Because he wouldn't sign with Texas.
No,
he wants to be on the West Coast, probably.
Yeah.
So Texas could do it. Look, they put all the chips in. They signed an injured DeGrom for $175 million, whatever it is. You know that they're not worried about money right now.
Nope.
Give me. We got another super chat here with Mark Hope. Let me put that up there.
The big fella.
Okay. He says, "Hello, gentlemen. Great show. My question is, will the Giants get outpriced at deadline? It seems to me like there's a lot of buyers right now."
Yeah. Well,
it's about 18 to 20 buyers probably out of 30 teams.
Yeah. Look, they may feel that they can pull it off, but these injuries to the infielders, the team injuries will dictate doing something. Now, the pitching, they may think, look, we got Cobb, we got Logan Webb, we got Stripling, we've got a great bullpen, we can piece it together, we're smart, we're going to win a division, we're going to be in a playoff doing this. Maybe we can get away with it, so we don't have to give up Vaughn Brown and give up Mason Black or give up, someone that we really like in the farm system. Who knows what they'll do? We'll see.
Give us three names, Marty. Give us three names out there that you think the Giants would have a realistic shot at in the trade market.
Right. I think Flaherty and Montgomery and Hicks. I think those three, and you've talked about two of them already.
Yeah.
The other one, I know I made some notes on this stuff for the show last weekend. I liked Eduardo Rodriguez of Detroit.
Yeah.
Scott Harris. Obviously, they have a relationship with him. But you know something? Detroit's only 5 games out.
Right, in their division,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are they trading this guy? But to be realistic, if they could get back 3 prospects for Eduardo Rodriguez, I would go ahead and do that.
Oh, yeah. He's got control, too, he's not a free agent,
I'd have to look it up.
Oh, maybe he is.
I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, I think he is. What about position middle infielders? Who do you like out there?
Well, the one is you mention all the time is Anderson. You know, that's the one from the White Sox that we talk about a lot.
Right.
You'd have to go through you'd have to go through the list and see who's out there. And I don't have it in front of me.
When we were spring training, when we were, having our sessions with Kapler, he talked about that they were going to, when Crawford had the knee injury in spring training and he was out for a couple of weeks, and he said it's going to be an ongoing, lingering issue probably all season. And he said we're going to, with Crawford, he said we're probably going to approach Crawford. We're going to have to approach Crawford this year like we did Posey in 21. No three games in a row, no day games after night games type of situation. But they really pushed Crawford the last month. They really have. He's been in the lineup, and I think it's because the injury to Estrada and then the fact that Schmidt wasn't hitting much. But you could see that coming going forward. If he comes back, they're going to have to really. Yeah. So you're right in that sense. They do need a middle infielder that's a veteran.
Estrada will be back. They need a shortstop.
Yeah, they need a shortstop. So that would be Jajong or Anderson or.
Here's what I had on my list. This is from about 2 weeks ago. I had Scherzer on there for the Mets. Giolito, free agent. Montgomery, free agent. Hader, free agent. DeYoung or Tim Anderson, both had them on there. Candelario from Washington, the third baseman.
Yeah.
People like him a lot. Blackburn from the A's. Paxton. Barlow the reliever from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kyle Finnegan from Washington. Kyle Finnegan is very good. You'll see him this weekend. They don't need a catcher, Grandal or Jan Gomes. Lane Thomas. You'll see him this weekend with Washington.
Center fielder, right?
Yeah, hits lefties really well. Hicks is a free agent. Bellinger. There's always, as crazy as that would sound, but, Farhan had him as a Dodger. Grichuk has been very good against left-handed pitching. If they think they need another right-handed hitting outfielder, if Haniger, who knows what's going to happen with him, if he'll ever be back. Adam Duvall, have him. Rooker from the A's, and the one I like is the guy in Colorado is Justin Lawrence. I like him a lot. Justin Lawrence is very good. But those are just some of the names. But I think you have to focus on a starting pitcher and an infielder. I think that's the key for me. Hey, if you could get Scherzer or Verlander, and the Mets, if Steve Cohen was going to pick up the money, heck, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
A name that comes to my mind, that just came to my mind, and I don't know if let me look him up, what his contract is. I think he's with Boston. And I don't know, Boston's kind of in that middle in there. They're kind of in it, but but I wonder if you could swing a deal for Kiki Hernandez, because he could play some short and he could play outfield.
Good call. Good call.
Let me see what his contract looks like. Kiki
didn't he just sign a 3-year deal?
No, he is a free agent after 1-year deal. Wait, is that? Yeah, 1-year deal, $10 million. Yeah, he's not signed for next year. So he might not cost that much. You might be able to get maybe a guy like a Silva, number 10 prospect for a free agent, a guy who's a free agent.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And I would do something like that, because Hernandez, playoff experience, can play all over the field, and gives you that backup shortstop.
Hey,
and
bring Christian Arroyo back.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I don't.
He hits the ball pretty good. He plays good second base for
plays
Boston.
Right field too, doesn't he? With him.
Yeah, he's been all right. Yeah, it'd be. Look, this is. I always say, this is the time the general manager's got to do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
The players have to do their thing for 162 games and exhibition games and get ready. That's their job. Now it's the job of the general manager to take this team and make this team solid, so they will be a playoff team and they possibly can win a World Series. This is his job right now. And the toughest thing to do, and Ned Colletti said this the other day, and I always remember it, is evaluating the players in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you over-evaluate your players, you'll never make a deal. You have to be honest in evaluating your players. And that's because you can evaluate other teams pretty well, but you know how you become paternalistic with your players because you drafted them and you developed them and you know them, and you overvalue them and you don't want to give them up. And that sometimes could be a mistake. So this is the challenge to Farhan right now, just like it was over the winter with Judge and Correa. That didn't work out, but then he pivoted and came up with Conforto and Haniger and Minaya and Stripling, and he went wild. And he pivoted beautifully to get the guys that he wanted out there. He's got to do that now. This is now. The spotlight is not on Wisely. It's not on Schmidt. It's not on VR. Folks, the spotlight is on Farhan Zaidi right now. And what he has got to come through for this team right now. That's the deal right now.
Absolutely. And Marty, I know you taken a lot of time with us tonight. Thank you for that. I don't know how much time you got left. I know you.
Yeah, I got to go pick up. Yeah, I got to pick up some medicines as usual. That's all we do here is take medicine. You know that. Yeah, I got to go do that. So I want to get out of here in a couple of minutes. And
okay. Well, how about another couple minutes, and then anybody have any questions for Marty before we let him go in the chat? Send it in now. Otherwise, that'll be too late.
A lot of the chat saying no ex-Dodgers, please. They've seen enough of the ex-Dodger players.
Well, You know,
Hey, you know who I liked? You know, the A's traded the guy that is Fujinami.
yeah,
we
they
just
traded
talked
to
about
Baltimore, didn't they?
Yeah. Have you seen him pitch? The guy throws 100.
No kidding. Wow.
Guy throws if you could straighten this guy out, which I'm sure that somebody can, what an arm. I was hoping the Giants would jump in there for that.
Yeah, it's they're definitely Giants. We said earlier on this year that Giants could be a playoff team if they stay healthy. Little did we foresee all these rookies coming up and contributing.
Well, and look, plus, who saw San Diego going in the tank?
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
And the
And
Mets. And the Mets.
And the Mets and the Cardinals,
Yeah.
you know, and all that going on. So, and the Marlins being so-so, Arizona kind of hitting the wall now. I mean, Nelson pitched great tonight. Kelly's been now with a blood clot. Gallen is good and bad. Their bullpen is a mess. They've got a lot to do with the trade deadline. And who saw the Dodgers with all the injuries they've got and losing Lux for the whole year, losing May for the whole year, Kershaw's out. So everything broke right for the Giants.
Yes.
Everything broke right, and they ended up figuring out a way to make these 26 guys complement each other. But they don't have all 26 now. They've only got about 20 of them.
Right.
That's the problem. The depth was starting to show, and you got to get these guys healthy.
That was one of the things we were concerned about. Yep. One last question before we let you go, Marty, and it's from Glass Half Full guy. We'll let you answer this one. Thank you for the donation, Glass Half Full, $4.99. Says, do you guys think it would take a lot for Bellinger? I don't think so, but I wouldn't mind him at first base either. What do you think, Marty? What will it take to get a Bellinger?
He's a free agent. He's, one-year player. The Yankees are talking about him, possibly going there. I'd love it. I'd love to see it because the Giants know how to pitch to the guy. They understand the high fastballs. Not many other teams have figured that out all the time. And in this park, I think he would be a tremendous upgrade defensively. Have a center fielder like that, take the pressure off Matos. Look, Matos has never been down the stretch before. You're making him your center fielder. I think Bellinger would be a great pickup, and I don't think it would take the kind of offer that you're talking about. Some 8 and 14 or 8 and 17 to get him, something like that. Yeah, I like it a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing him.
Yeah, I know they wanted him really bad. It was when I was at the winter meetings, they were talking, and when he signed with the Cubs at the winter meetings, Kapler was on the set with MLB, and he just was announced, and he said, "Yeah, we were really in on him. They really wanted Bellinger."
Yeah,
and
center field, why not? And hit left-handed.
So
hey, look, Jock's got to pick it up a little bit. Jock's got to get something going here. He gets a hit when they need it. He'll get a walk when they need it, but he'll also do a lot of stuff that's not helpful right now. This is what happened to him last year in July and August. So he's got to pick.
He hasn't hit a home run in 35 games. That's a long stretch.
Bellinger, honestly, if Wade is hurt and you want to make Wade the DH and have Bellinger play first, you can do that.
Right.
And, until Jock, we'll see you later for a while.
Right.
Bring him off the bench. He may be better coming off the bench.
Right. Yeah. Well, Marty, thank you for coming on.
Glad to see Eric. I'm glad Eric did a good job. It's good.
I appreciate it, Marty. Yeah, it's great to be
able to talk to you. Pay's not that great here, but
come on, Eric has a real job now. This is good. I've been Eric since 2010. Eric and I started talking to each other.
Yeah, we've been talking for quite a while, and I appreciate coming on the show. Hope we get to talk to you again here soon.
Yeah, well, hopefully if the Giants make a big splash, something we'll have you on and we'll talk about it.
How about any splash?
Yeah, any splash. Yes, that would be good.
Any splash will just do something.
Yes, do something. Yes,
yeah.
That would be great.
To answer the first question, really, this Patrick Bailey. I can't say enough about what he has done to solidify this team. When it's all said and done, and you look for an MVP on this thing, Patrick Bailey could very well be your guy. It's incredible what he's been able to do behind the plate.
I love his poise too. And his composure.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a nasty side. You don't mess with this kid.
I talked to him in spring training, and he did have that chip, I noticed. And it was interesting. I asked him about Keaton Wynn, and his splitter. And I said to him, how's it compare with Gosman splitter? And he says, it's sicker than Gosman's. I said, really? He goes, yeah, and he can control it for a strike.
Yeah,
So,
well, don't take him seriously, please.
well,
Kevin Keaton win? Are we having that discussion right now?
No, he was just saying that his splitter was pretty nasty.
Well, Patrick, stick to catching, pal, and frame it. Okay, we'll take care of the scouting. All right. Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
all
awesome,
right.
Marty. Thanks for joining. We'll have you back again soon. Hopefully, if they make us any splash, we'll have you on to talk about it.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Marty Lurie, everybody.
Thank you, Marty.
Bye.
All right. So, Marty joining us from Arizona, where I'm at. And yes, it is hot right now. Let me put up the current temperature for you guys just to, it's 7:49 and look at that temperature.
Nice. Just a paltry 110.
110 at almost 8:00 at night.
Just convert it to Celsius. It'll make you feel better.
Now that Marty's gone, we have a. I'm going to be right back, and I've got a special guest for you all. Eric, take it away. Be right back with our special guest.
Sounds good. All right, then. What do we got? How'd you guys like that? Pretty good interview, huh? It's always great to have Marty on. Man, you just can't get enough of him and his knowledge of baseball. So that was good stuff. What do we got in here? A lot of stuff here about the trade. Lou Marston. Farhan is soft wheel. Netta, I'm expecting nothing. Dan, find out if anyone is often injured. That is Farhan's man. Yeah, that's something I've been critical of too. It seems like the guys he always seems to have a history of being injured, and it's frustrating as a fan to have to deal with that type of mindset in how you want to get players. All right, what you got, Dan?
All right, let me get my special guest here. 1 sec. I got to get some music going. What do we got? We got some epic stuff, or?
Oh, here, hold on. What do we got here? Let's. We
got this. Here we go.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, here we go. Coming to you this summer.
Coming.
In theaters next to you. The one and only Dan's special guest. Live.
Macho Man shirt
The
on.
Macho Man shirt. There we go.
Hold on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can you hear
Look
it now?
at that. Los
Live.
coming in with Macho Man. Man, I'm telling you, you just raised this chat so much better. I had Will was on with us the other day, remember? And he the top 5 WWE wrestlers, and he doesn't even name the Macho Man or Hulk Hogan.
His credentials went right down the drain saying that. So William, I know you're out there. I know you called me out. So I'm here and I'm challenging you. Come on, whenever, and let's hear how your knowledge of wrestling is. You may know more than me. I may know more than you, but I guarantee you do not have a Macho Man Randy Savage shirt on.
Woo! Woo! Here we go.
Get in the ring with. How about William and Los in the ring?
Where are we at here? What did I want? I got something in here.
Oh,
We
William
gotta play.
Lance,
Oh, here we go.
On me, I'm done.
You know what today is, right? What is today? What is this day of the week? If I'm not mistaken, I think it is Wednesday. And what do we have on the NorCal Sports Network on Wednesdays? Wednesday Wrestling. There we go. Yeah, here we go.
We're gonna lose, Dan, if we do that.
We just finished with Marty, and now we're going straight into the wrestling. How about that?
Yep.
Oh my God! Look at got Lionel. What Macho Man?
That's my boy Lionel. He knows what time it is. He's a big wrestling honk himself.
Oh, dude, there's William. Okay, he came back. He came back with some what do you call oh my god, how come I can't think of their name? The Road Warriors. He comes back strong with Road Warriors, so I'll have to give him that.
Road Warriors and the Steiner brothers used to go at it. WCW at one time was so hot for tag teams. You had Rock and Roll Express, you had Harlem Heat, you had Doom,
Harlem Heat.
You had Midnight Express, you had
the British Bulldogs.
The British Bulldogs. Oh, the Suplex Special British Bulldogs. Yeah. God, who are the guys that I'm thinking
of?
And
they never had a name as a tag team, but Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik. I mean, that was a hell of a tag team.
Yeah, they did have a nickname, I thought.
Did they?
Yeah.
Because Bobby DeBrain, I think, didn't he manage them? I'm almost positive. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it one time.
The Killer Bees. Oh, Luigi.
Killer Bees. They had the weirdest ass outfit and yellow and black tights. Mas puto.
The one-man gang, Justin Kerwin.
Hey, let me tell you, Dan is not lying. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get here. It is hot. Had the air conditioning on in the car, and damn, whoo, man! Like
I don't miss it. I'm telling you, I don't miss it.
It's a challenge here for 2 or 3 months out of the year.
Did you enjoy watching Piper's Pit?
To a
Not
point.
So much.
It depended on the guest that he had. If he had a really good guest, it would make it interesting. But Piper by himself, he kind of had the same routine going all the time.
Yeah, true. I liked it when he busted the coconuts over the top of Jimmy the what is it? Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Remember he broke the coconut over his head? That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
I liked him. I liked Piper better than I liked Brother Love. I love you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that was weird.
That's the thing about wrestling is like a lot of us that liked it just for the showmanship and the characters and the personalities.
Yes.
And the shit talking. Like nobody could talk shit like The Rock and Stone Cold. So that's why that 90s era with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all that was going back and forth. Didn't get any better than that. Although the 80s in WCW was close.
Oh, now Dan's been relegated to the front room.
But I'm comfortable now. No longer standing.
I'm gonna sit in. If I sit in this chair, I'm too down low.
I think you can adjust the laptop. Yeah,
you have to take off the laptop off the cushion.
There it is. I got it. I just lowered the
We're all good.
laptop.
Yeah, you still sound good on the mic. You're good.
I'm okay. Okay.
Hey, just one thing, a word of warning, Los.
Yeah.
You don't know where that microphone's been. I'd keep your distance. Just saying. I'm just saying.
That is a good point.
Oh man. Hey, did you see the clip that I made of our discussion
what
about
are you saying, Eric?
So it went well with Marty?
Oh yeah, it was
broke
good.
It down.
Do you get a chance to hear it at all or no?
I was listening to some of it, and then the dogs were preoccupying me, and
I bet.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I clipped out that discussion we had yesterday about the Game 7 of the World Series. We were talking about, would have Gordon been thrown out at home, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, definitely that was
a fun discussion.
It was
138 feet.
138 feet. Yeah, it was. He was 20 feet from the base.
Like he was 20 feet off the dirt from that one angle.
Yeah, because like I said, when they telescope in with their with those TV cameras, you lose all sense of depth.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, William Ray's, that's funny as hell, man. This is a Brooklyn brawler.
Oh, Brooke, yeah,
for sure.
Brooklyn Brawler. That's pretty good.
I
Good
didn't
pull.
even think of that. That's good knowledge right there.
That was good. I remember him.
That's good.
You know who was a little bit weird? What? Bam Bam Bigelow. He was athletic for a big guy, but a little bit weird.
So was Gold Dust.
God, that was. Yeah, that was. I don't know what happened there.
I could do a lot of impersonations, William. If you're out there, like I don't know, you bit off more than you can chew. I know my wrestling. I could mimic most of the wrestlers, but
yeah,
I welcome the challenge.
Me and Marty, we'd be like,
yeah.
I bet you Marty doesn't know much too.
There you go, Lou. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I forgot about him.
What do we got?
You know, his whole thing was he was like best friends with Hulk Hogan. He didn't really have like a gimmick or anything like that.
The only good thing was when they had to cut. Remember, they had to cut his hair or something, cutting the hair match or something like that.
Had to shave his head.
Yeah. Oh, how about the honky tonk man with the guitar?
I just remember Pat Patterson and Ray Stevenson and Haystack Calhoun and Kenji Shibuya. Those were my days. That's before you guys were even thought of.
You know who wasn't so bad is Hillbilly Jim. I kind of liked him. He was a big dude. I enjoyed watching him wrestle.
Oh, how about Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant, yep.
He'll slap that
shit. Legend.
Wasn't Andre the Giant like 7'5"?
He was
7'5", and he was 5'20", 5'40" by the time he passed away. If you want to see a good documentary, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, watch an Andre the Giant documentary. He was always the designated driver because he could drink 3/5 of a bottle before he got buzzed. Think about that.
That's crazy.
3/5, 550, did you say?
550, 7'5".
That's a big guy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He would.
That's why Hogan pulled something in his back when he body slammed him, right?
Oh yeah.
I think he pulled a muscle, right, when he did that.
Yeah, that's a great documentary that talks about that wrestling match at WrestleMania 3. Like Hogan was a big dude, and he looked tiny next to Andre.
I know,
tiny. But Andre was on his way down when that match happened. He was having back problems, and it was a short. Yeah, it was a shorter match, but
tough guy. Hey, tough guy.
Those were the good days. Those were the good days.
You guys keep talking wrestling. I'm just gonna watch the chat numbers.
Yeah, it kind of
42. Okay,
it kind of dropped a little bit. But it's all good. Mr. T, a great wrestler? I don't know.
No, he was not a great wrestler.
About that one.
Not at all. Not at all. What are we doing here? Oh, we can go back to baseball.
Let's go back
up to 60, 70. I don't care. I'm flexible. Football.
I don't know what happened last night. We had 100.
Man, we had 100 for a while.
107, 108. Where did they all come from? Is it because they won 2 games?
Probably. Maybe.
Had to be more than that because the Giants won 10 in a row and we didn't have those numbers.
Exactly.
Right?
That was crazy. Yesterday just got just nuts. It just happens.
You know what it was? I bet you everybody thought Marty was coming on yesterday, so the numbers went up.
Maybe.
A little bit.
Maybe.
I'd like to think it has to do something with us. A little bit.
Yeah.
Right? I'd like to think that.
So what it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Giants, they should be making a deal right now.
Even
the injuries. They shouldn't be waiting until.
No.
You don't want to lose ground over the next 8-10 days. As far as your club, you got all this momentum. Capitalize it and make that move. Get that starting pitcher like Jordan Montgomery, or go get that middle infielder like Tim Anderson, DeJong, or I don't know if you can get a guy like Kiki Hernandez or not.
Kiki Hernandez.
I don't know. Doesn't he play some short? I mean, Christian Arroyo wouldn't even be bad if you think about it.
Yeah, Kiki has played all that. I think he mostly plays second and outfield. I don't know if he has the arm for short. I'm not sure.
But heck, it would be the thing is you got to strike back. You don't know what kind of how's he going to come back? Is he going to be 100%? Is that hand going to be bothering him still, or
right?
Hard to say.
Hey, real quick, let's talk a little bit about the game. I was surprised how well Stripling, he gave up that 1 3-run homer, but
he got hit hard in the third inning. He got like 5 hard hit balls, but then the rest of the game
he did well. Yeah.
he did well, and he gave him 6 innings. If it wasn't for the one pitch, he kind of grooved to
Benson.
What's his name?
Benson.
Will Benson.
Yeah. That was the ball game. Well, let's talk about this, because the Giants had first and third in the second inning. Matos led off with a nice double that went off the wall. Sable hits one up the middle off of Ashcraft's leg. He kind of throws it away in a hurry. They credit Sable with a single, but the ball gets past the first baseman and Votto and goes to was it Votto at first, or was he DHing? I think it's Votto, but anyway,
Votto was, I think, at first, right?
Ball went all the way to the wall. Matos looked like he could have jogged home. I mean, it didn't show it, but Matos was at third base, and the ball goes away. I don't know if the third base coach held him up or what, but they didn't get a run that inning.
Yeah, nope. They had opportunities.
BR comes up and then, strikes out, and then somebody hit into a double play. Who was it?
Wisely.
They stole.
Wisely struck out, and Sable got thrown out at second. Correct.
Sable got thrown out at second. So they just ran themselves out of the inning, and it was a 3-2 count. So, and Wisely swung at ball 4. So it was just not a great effort tonight.
It was really pitiful. Me and you, Dan, were talking about this as it was transpiring. Giants get the bases loaded with no outs. Jock Peterson comes out and hits into a damn double play, gets only 1 run in, and that's it.
Yeah, Jock's that's bad when you paying him. He's the highest paid player on the team this year. $19 million, and he's not coming.
No.
He did good last night with the double, and he's had some good base running decisions, but I kept thinking Jock is due for, I really thought, here it is, grand slam. They're down 3-0. He's going to put them up 4-3. They've been hot on this trip. He's so overdue. I mean,
I'm curious what he's hitting with runners in scoring position. I bet it's not really good.
I wonder how I can find that out. Let me look it up.
ESPN stats will break it down. Oh, William Reyes really wants to come in.
Yeah, I saw the super chat. Not yet, William. Maybe a little bit later. Hold on one sec. AB has a good point here, and this is something you talked about, Los, when you were watching the Giants play against Toronto.
Toronto. Toronto announcers were talking about.
Told the coaching staff a month ago he was going back to his own mechanic. Now, you know what's kind of weird? Los, I don't know if you heard Marty talking about this, but it seems like the Giants are tweaking with some of these pitchers, because he's saying Junis doesn't have the snap on his slider. DeSclafani doesn't have snap on his slider. And he almost was kind of alluding that maybe the Giants are tinkering with these guys' mechanics. So it makes me wonder if something's going on there.
Yeah, well, the Giants have had a lot of success with pitchers coming over and, rehabbing and, coming back after off years and then doing well and then taking the money and leaving somewhere else. So
right.
I think they think that they can change everybody, and that's just not the case. Baseball doesn't work that way. Again, we're talking analytics here. If something's been working for Stripling, he was pitching well in Toronto. That's a hitter's division,
right?
With all those stadiums.
AL East.
He had a 3.19 ERA there. So he comes over. He's obviously got a good groove. He's doing something right. And the Giants start playing with them and start tinkering with this and that. And all of a sudden he's giving up bombs. So at some point as a major leaguer, you've gotten to that level for a reason. You're going to do what you need to do. And, you'll be open to what coaches say, but it's obviously not working. So, right. Hey, I'm all for it. If it produces better results, go back to what you're doing, man.
Exactly. I agree. But I found that interesting. And I like how Marty brought up Eduardo Rodriguez, your guy. That was cool.
Don't think I did not hear that.
Yeah, I said that too. I was like, hey, Los, that's Los's guy.
put a big smile on my face that I got Marty Lurie's endorsement. Nice.
Yeah. Marty Lurie approved.
Yeah. I just like if the Giants can get a lefty to just balance out their two righties, that would be good. Because I'm not a big Alex Wood. I think Alex Wood would be a great middle reliever. Because Alex Wood, you go 1.5 times through the lineup, he's funky. Yeah. He's hard to pick up. But by the time you see him twice or 3 times, that's why he can never go 7 innings. So yeah, I like him. I like him to be a middle reliever at some point.
And Marty seems pretty sold on the bullpen with the guys he talked about. So that's interesting. And to bring up the point about the bullpen, they're using a lot of these guys as inning eaters. They're not really, working these high leverage guys so hard. Only thing is, I want Luke Jackson to get some more reps. He was doing well, but then he got injured. Brebbia doing really good, then he gets injured. That's going to be, again, it seems to be the common denominator this season is injuries. And then, when you keep having these injuries, that's what's hurting this team. That's why, as much it would be awesome to get Ohtani, like you said, is that one guy going to make a difference? Oh, don't get me wrong. Would I love to have him? Absolutely. But they have to make other moves in accordance with that. If you really want to compete, you just can't keep throwing, like he said, these Sacramento River Cat players out there, without that veteran presence.
I think if the Giants did happen to get Ohtani, the hysteria in the Bay Area
is going to be off the charts.
And within Giants fans would be completely off the charts. You're right. Yep. But if after 3 to 4 weeks, they're not too much better than they are right now, you know what everybody's going to be coming on here in the chat and in other chats? They're going to say, oh, that messed up chemistry, or, like they just kind of messed up with everything else that was going on. So, again, I keep saying this, baseball is just the one sport. It's not like basketball or football where you just bring a superstar over and you immediately are just better. I mean, the Padres, guys, look at the Padres. They, on paper, should be so dominant.
I know.
They have so much talent on that team, and they are not winning because their chemistry is just off. So I'm not all for losing 3-4 decent prospects for Ohtani, especially for rental. Now, if he comes over and signs an agreement long-term, hey, let's do it. But just as a rental, and then we lose him, and they're not much better. And then I got to see Bailey or I got to see Matos become a really good player. Doesn't even have to be an all-star, just a really good player. You can win World Series with really good players. Just look at 2010, 12, and 14. How many superstars did those teams have?
Yeah,
that were not on the pitching staff.
That were not on the exactly.
Like their everyday lineup, other than Posey.
Yeah, I mean,
Scudero was cool, but he was a good player. He wasn't an all-star.
Right.
So that's the formula.
The Giants signed 10 of their first 11 picks so far.
Nice.
Who's not signed?
Their 4th round pick, Maui Ahuna, the shortstop.
Oh, the shortstop kid.
They'll probably get him signed but they got only a little over 600,000 left or something like that total. And then they got to sign all their picks 12 through 20. But a lot of those guys, maybe some of those guys, they don't get signed. But this Maui Ahuna is supposed to be the top defensive player, according to some scouts, in the draft. So I'm sure they'll get that done. Boy, these guys make some money. That first round pick made $4 million signing bonus. The kid, the second round pick, the one they got, the Whitman kid, that was he was the kid that was the slot value was I just saw it here. Anyway, he signed for just under like 800,000, I think. And the slot value was like $1 million something. That's pretty wild that, Giants signed a lot of guys under slot value. So hopefully they'll, get these guys in, get them in camp, and just keep the line moving. I'm trying to find that spot. Somebody put in there for Bart. I think it was about Justin Kerwin. Jeff Young on Bart options. If he stays in sack more than 20 days, it counts towards options. And in 24, he has no more options.
That's what did you send that to Marty?
Yeah, I'm looking. I will
actually find it.
I'm looking for it from Jeff. I'm going to see if I can find it exactly.
Everyone's saying you're the Dark Knight, Dan.
Oh, people just coming on the chat must be tripping out seeing two Dan Coach
What? Am I in there twice?
No, look. Well, yeah. See, look at your name.
Oh, let me. I'm.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
There we go. Okay.
It's like, Dan, that's quick. Dan grew facial hair in one day. Yesterday. That's impressive. Way to go, Dan.
Yeah.
This is a cool setup. I'm honored to be sitting in the host's chair for
nice. Is Dan feeding you?
Yeah, we had a good dinner.
Nice.
His wife made some Filipino food, and
all right,
and, yeah, deal. It was real good.
Have that as you're watching the Giants, guys. Awesome, good deal.
Yeah,
and then get to listen to Marty.
Yeah,
Mart. The Giants got a tall task tomorrow. I was telling Dan that the kid that Cincinnati's throwing, Abbott, has been dealing. He's got
I took a look at his numbers. Yeah,
he's got a 2.2 ERA. He's a lefty. He's no pushover, so that might be a good pitching matchup tomorrow. So they kind of needed to get this win tonight because to take the series for sure. But we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, if Cobb can come through tomorrow, then they go into Washington Friday. Do we have a scheduled starter for Friday? Let me see here. I wonder if it's Wood's turn. It is Wood. Yeah. Wood, and then Webb should be Saturday. And then that's going to be a good matchup. Wood versus Josiah Gray.
Josiah Gray is good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind him in our rotation for sure.
Yeah, he was part of that Scherzer deal, wasn't he?
Yep, he was.
Think so.
Sunday they go, oh gosh, DeSclafani Sunday.
He's just going to keep throwing them out there, huh?
Yep.
Like, why?
They can't do no worse bringing up Wisenhunt or Harrison.
I know.
Like, why not? We know what we're going to get with DeSclafani. It's got to be perfectly pinpoint to even get 6 innings in a quality start. Like, just bring them up and see what happens. You never know. Yeah. We'll bring some excitement to the fan base for sure.
Hey, my wife's looking. She says I'm not on. Am I on there?
You're on now.
You are now.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah, and you should do the show from there from now on. That's a lot more relaxing chair.
It is, but I got
you got all the equipment here.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's the wedding picture right there. Oh.
I got to get a USB cord so I can put the earphones on. It does make a difference.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I can hear everything.
Yeah, exactly. You'll hear everything.
Can hear everything clearly.
Woo!
Now I know why Dan does this.
Remember this, Dan?
Yeah, I remember that. I
was watching that the other night, laughing my ass off, man. All right, we gonged them out, and then you put your earbuds back in.
Man.
Oh my god!
These things have more bass though than the other ones.
Yeah, it does have more bass.
The Larry Krueger earbuds. Yeah. These just look better. They look more professional. So
yeah, those look nice. Yeah, the one thing that you always have to No Chardall tonight, huh?
Yeah, he's there.
I saw him in here. There he
Chardall
is.
there?
He's in here.
Oh,
Matter of
okay.
fact, Will Martinez
You
says
always-
it's only a matter of time before Chardall is doing the show from Dan's house.
yeah. You always got to be ready for one of these guys.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
See,
Fuck, that's loud.
That's loud.
especially I had it all the way up.
No, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's
Treat
trying to
your-
make Losco.
Treat your guest well. Damn, that was loud. Oh my god, that was loud.
Yeah, that one time I wasn't expecting it. It just blew me up, man.
Yeah, that's the one that I clipped. That was pretty good.
Hey, this is Luis Matos.
All right, got class half full. Another $4.99. Appreciate it. Farhan has to address the pitching staff with a deal or two if they want to go far this year, and no more Disco. He's so bad. Hashtag no more Disco.
Yeah, he's right there. You just, if you want to go far, I mean, if you're hoping just to get to the playoffs, they can probably get there with what they've got when they get their reinforcements back. If you want to go far, you need a solid shutdown guy at the 3, where you're gonna. I mean, Stripling, like Marty said, he could be that guy, but ideally, you want another starter, preferably a lefty.
Yep.
And that would be someone like Montgomery. I mean, I wonder, he threw out Scherzer and Verlander. I wonder if you could get just take on his full contract for the year. Isn't this his last year, Scherzer, or does he have one more?
Sure, I think it's Scherzer's last, right? And then Verlander has another, I think, something like that. You have to look.
I'm gonna look that up real quick here, and am I still on when I'm talking, or can you guys?
No,
see
it's
me?
black right now when you're doing that.
Okay, when I go off, it's not like.
Yeah.
We got the audio, but not the video.
All right, so here
I tell you what scares me is when Marty was saying maybe the Giants think they can make do with the rotation they currently have, and I'm like, man, I hope
It's not going to work.
No, Scherzer is signed for next year too, $43 million.
And that's why he was saying if he could get Cohen to take the buy out the contract basically, and then I guess just give some. It ain't going to be high level prospects, but
I would be cautious about getting Scherzer. If you trade for him, you're getting the reputation and the name, because this year he's
not the same.
No, and that's what the Giants cannot do. That would be an Angels move, getting a person on reputation. And he might throw a game or two good. He's got like a 4.5 ERA. Trust me, I have him on my fantasy team, and he's killing me right now. He's getting hit a lot. He's not throwing 97, 98 anymore. So
he's what, 40-something years old, right?
Yeah, and he's topping out at 94, which makes the changeup not as effective than coming off 98. So I would not go after Scherzer. I'm going to stay consistent with Rodriguez, Paxson, Giolito, and Montgomery. I do like Montgomery.
I find it interesting that Marty, he says he's got to give him more time, but he didn't say that Ohtani wouldn't get traded. I wonder if he thinks that, maybe he's going to be on the move.
The Angels won again, so
yeah, they did.
They keep
winning.
Be
interesting.
The fan base is going to be pressuring to keep him.
But then again, I mean, he's going to walk. But I guess if you have a chance to win something, maybe, I guess.
I hear that the Giants are looking at Ohtani for DeSclafani straight up, but Farhan's having a hard time
giving him up.
Yeah, so not sure if Farhan's willing to pull the trigger on that one. What happened to there we go. I wonder if you could give DeScalfani is there any kind of utility guy that a team needs just a body for a starting pitcher for innings? That is there?
I don't think you'd get much back for
That's what I'm saying. Just the utility guy, like just to get rid of DeScalfani. Who's out there that would be, that could use a starting pitcher for next year? Maybe St. Louis, because he never pitched in St. Louis, did he?
I don't think so.
He pitched for the Reds, didn't he?
He pitched for the Reds and the Dodgers.
No, not the Dodgers. Was he with the Dodgers?
DeScalfani was in a bullpen with the Dodgers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. How about DeScalfani? Since the Cardinals want, starting pitching, and they're going to lose probably Montgomery. How about DeScalfani? Is he signed for next year for the shortstop?
DeJong?
Yeah.
It's possible. Couldn't hurt to ask.
Or for Hicks.
We'll have to come off something for Hicks for sure.
I mean, Hicks
good.
Agent.
Maybe there's a middle infielder out there that maybe has a big contract that if the Giants are willing to trade for it and pick it up for this year and next year, maybe they'll do that. Take back DeScalfani because they're taking money. Because like we said the last few weeks, the Giants have all this money. So,
right.
I don't know. There's a lot of ideas and options.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I just don't want to see the Giants like having middle infielder as the priority now over starting pitching because of what's happened recently. I mean, yeah, we do need it, but starting pitching is first and foremost priority if you want to make this a deep run. Two pitchers are not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty plain. Every time those guys go out there, besides Cobb and Webb, we see what we see.
Yeah.
The eye test says it all.
What time tomorrow? 9:30? Let me look.
Yeah, you have to look. I'm not sure.
I think it's a 9:30 game. Yeah, 9:35. So tomorrow's Thursday. You want to do a show tomorrow after the game, or you want to wait till tomorrow evening? What do you think?
It's up to you. Maybe. How about tomorrow evening? It seems like we get more people in the evening time.
All right, we'll do a show tomorrow. Seems like we do better after 8 too, huh?
Yeah, I would say start at 8. That's probably the best.
I mean, last night we started after 9, and
we racked it up. It was crazy.
Tonight we started at 7, and I was surprised it wasn't that high of numbers. So, yeah, why don't we close it out here? And
alrighty,
we'll I'll let you close it out.
It all down.
I'll give my call at the end.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, you're gonna do the call. I got you.
Do my call.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Do you want to do any kind of recap here?
Yeah, let's do a quick little recap. Giants lose 3-2 to the Reds. They runners in scoring position in after getting first. What was the 6th? Could not get it. And tomorrow's game will be Alex Cobb on the mound, going for the series win. And they're facing the tougher left Reds. I think we'll have a lineup out there tomorrow that looks like if he's back healthy, in the JD Davis, hopefully it's just a little 24-hour bug. I don't know, but they could use him at third base. They could also, might move VR over to second. Slater in the lineup. Flores, Matos are going to have to go right-handed heavy.
Yeah.
The lefties haven't been doing much. But anyway, you still got that music going? I don't hear it anymore.
No, I had to kill it because it was over. It was
drowning you out.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When you were on the phone, it heard nothing you were saying, so I killed it.
Oh, it doesn't work? I might have to walk in. Here. Los and I will switch.
Oh, yeah.
Take that out there.
And we're ready to rock and roll, huh?
All right, there you go. So you want me to kick it off again?
Kick it off. Hey, Los is upside down. Look at that.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Big night tonight. We had Marty Lurie joining us.
Yeah, that was good.
We had, as always, Eric in the house. And Los. Let's see that shirt again, Los. Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Macho Man.
Can't quite get that one down.
Dig it. So, for Eric and for Los, the Macho Man, we sign off saying to the chat in Italian, Arrivederci!